A former Polish sprinter is insisting that a Namibian Olympic runner has to prove that she is in fact a woman because she runs faster than he does. And he doesn't think that women can run that fast, you know? It's certainly not faster than him.
Okay, don't be ridiculous. But this story gets funnier.
No, it's the most insane story. And I mean, just take the L, bro, and stop talking. But let's give you the details. So the woman, the Olympian that we're speaking of here is Christine Mboma. And she won the silver medal in the race. So she won silver at the 200-meter sprint in Tokyo on Monday. She was narrowly beaten to the gold medal by Jamaica's Elaine Thompson-Herah, who broke the world record for the women's 200 meters with a time of just 21.53 seconds, and that's 0.28 seconds faster than Mboma.
Okay, do you understand what he's saying? He's saying no woman could possibly be that fast, so I want her tested. She came in second. That's what a silver medal is. So obviously, the person who came in first is even faster.
And yes, and also a woman.
Also a woman, and he's
woman's.
But when you're right wing, just logic need not apply. It's logic not required. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. For whatever reason, he thinks, and I guess it has to do with her age.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can't possibly be that fast. So I declare, since you were all faster than me, I declare all of you non-women.
No, this is it's just so insane. So Marcin Urbas is who we're talking about here. That's the Polish sprinter, former Polish sprinter. And he's obsessed with this because apparently he's comparing his speed at the age of 18 to her speed now. And he's like, look, when I was that young, I wasn't that fast. And so since I wasn't that fast, there's no way she's a woman. There's no way she's a woman. Women can't run that fast.
Amazing.
And it is amazing. And like the most amazing part about it is how humiliating it is for the person doing the commentary right now. The former Polish sprinter who's like putting himself out there as like the biggest loser of all time. So he says that he couldn't believe that she was a woman because as an 18-year-old, she's running faster than he did when she was her age. The testosterone advantage, this is a quote from him. Her testosterone advantage over other participants is seen with the naked eye in construction movement technique at the same time as speed and endurance. She has the parameters of an 18-year-old boy. At that age, my personal best was 22.01 seconds, and she was done at, she did it at 21.97 seconds in Tokyo. Yeah. So like he's just like, no, it's impossible. So he wants her to be tested to make sure she's a woman.
Yeah, no, this story is actually a perfect story of cognitive dissonance because he has a couple of thoughts in his head and he can't square them. One is that men are always faster than women. The other is this woman was faster than me, and I was a national sprinter of some acclaim in my country. So those two things don't match. So instead of him rejecting the original supposition, which is men are always faster than women, he instead rejects that she is a woman because he's got to get past that cognitive dissonance somehow. So, and by the way, this is a fairly common psychological phenomenon and explains a lot of right-wing thinking. Somebody just did it on TV last week. We were talking about it. They said, well, Trump won. What's your evidence? Oh, it was Mike Lindell. He said, and when the CNN reporter showed him all the evidence that he was not correct, he said, oh, that evidence doesn't matter because we all know Trump was gonna win. It's cognitive dissonance. I thought Trump was gonna win, but yet he didn't. So I have to either change my original supposition, which was that Trump was definitely gonna win. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do that because psychologically it doesn't make me feel good. So instead I will change the fact, which is that Trump did not win.
Look, I get it. Sometimes life hits you like a ton of bricks, right?
Yeah,
and then you got to readjust, right?
That's
New information means you have to readjust, not readjust whatever narrative makes you feel better about yourself. Fact of the matter is, homeboy, at the age of 18, she happens to be faster than you were at the age of 18, which might be the reason why you're a former sprinter that most people hadn't heard anything about until today, when you make a fool out of yourself by saying things like, quote, "It is clear and insolent injustice against women who are definitely women." He wants her to get tested because he suspects that she's not in fact a woman, and as a result, this is an injustice to women.
And actually, insolent is a really interesting word to use there. Like, how dare she? She's being insolent by beating male records. She's not allowed to do that, okay? We all had an agreement here that men were better than women, and she's violating that agreement. So we've got issues here. But guys, there's actually one more super interesting part of the story, which is how the human body is structured and the different advantages that other Olympic athletes have. So it is true that in some regions of the world, testosterone is slightly higher in some women. Now, there's some extreme cases. There's a bell curve. On average, we're all incredibly similar. But when you're talking at the extreme end of the bell curve, that tiny bit of testosterone could make a difference and make them a little bit faster. And so that's not incorrect. But there's nothing wrong with that. They're not cheating. That's natural, and that's how their bodies are.
It's called sad day for you.
Yes, and so now people say, well, that's not fair. That's too much testosterone. Their body's built that way. But wait a minute, have you guys heard the story of Michael Phelps? So of course you know who he is, right? Or great majority of you do. He won 23 Olympic medals. He's a US swimmer. In fact, he won 23 gold medals, okay? So I knew some of this, but I didn't know all of it. So he has an abnormally large wingspan. Everybody knows that, you can see it, right? But most of the swimmers have abnormally large wingspans. So are we gonna say, no, your arms are too much. No, you're disqualified, you're not a real man. Go away, okay? Yeah. Well, that's why it's like saying, well, no, Shaq should be disqualified from playing basketball. He's too tall. Yes, some people are better athletes because of their bodies, right? And so now, but back to Phelps, he has double jointed ankles that make for a more powerful paddle. That's a massive advantage in swimming, massive. He just happens to have this quirk in his body with a giant wingspan and double jointed ankles. It's no wonder he won 23 gold medals, right? And I had heard about the double jointed ankles before, but wait, it gets worse. This is the clincher that I had not heard before. He also has a lack of lactic acid production, which reduces fatigue.
Oh, God damn it.
That's not fair. So when he's swimming when no normal human being swims that fast, they get tired. They get really tired because of lactic acid. But his body doesn't produce that much lactic acid, so he doesn't get tired.
You know what? That's it. I mean, look, I can't swim as fast as Michael Phelps can.
That's it.
So
he's not a man.
I don't think that he's a human. I don't think he's human. Okay, this is an injustice to humanity. And so as a result, I want him to be tested to make sure he's a human.
That's right. I mean, the double jointed ankles is really weird.
Please
and the
stop
lack
saying
of lactic
double
acid.
jointed ankles. It creeps me out for some reason.
I hear you. Okay, so lesson of the story is, yes, some athletes are really good because their bodies are structured to make them good athletes.
Right.
My body is not structured to be a good athlete. You don't see me crying like this Polish sprinter going, I want everybody tested. I want everybody eliminated until I get the gold medal. It's not how life works.
I just love the final thing for me. I love how this guy has these like Al Bundy-like nostalgic moments about his running career, and a woman threatening his record at the age of 18 like really throws him in a tizzy. He's like, no, can't have it. It's not a woman, not a woman.
Totally, I pictured him with his hand in his pants like Al Bundy and Married with Children. Yeah. Going, no, I don't think she's a woman, man. Yeah, she's her body's too fast. I don't think we should let her run. I think you might be missing the point.